Welcome to the Sanity Project podcast, where you can awaken your mind to clarity and success even in today's life challenges. We're here to provide insights and solutions that will help you live a sane, healthy, and prosperous life. Here's your host, Joanne Victoria.
Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Victoria with another amazing episode of the Sanity Project podcast. You are here to discover a life of clarity, confidence, sanity, and entrepreneurial success. Our guest today is Karen Ford. Karen Ford is a money master, and she has written 4 books that incorporate many aspects about money. She's a master financial coach, public speaker, entrepreneur, and author who has coached people with a variety of money issues, from just $500 in debt to $800,000 in debt. That's almost $1 million, people. She has coached folks with up to 86 credit cards and taught them how to pay down and pay off those credit cards in record time. She has more to talk to us about, especially about her #1 Amazon best-selling book, Money Matters. And welcome to the show, Karen Ford.
Hey there, Joanne. Good to be with you.
Same here. It's good to have you back. Just for everybody who's listening, Karen is a friend of the Sanity Project podcast. So we welcome her with open arms. So what can you tell us that's going on out there today about money, debt, retirement, savings? What's the most important thing?
Well, first of all, look at the writing on the wall. We see gas prices skyrocketing. Here in the state in which I live, we were talking $4.89, $4.99 a gallon. And of course, I know on the West Coast, it's probably much more than that. And when gasoline prices go up, everything else goes up because there's so many products out there that are made from petroleum. So prices on everything are going up because what delivers food? Trucks. Trucks use gasoline. So you probably noticed that you're not only paying a higher price at the fuel pump, but you're paying a higher price wherever you are. That's including food. Food has had an astronomical increase in price, and it's going to get worse. Now, I'm not a Debbie Downer, not at all, but I'm a teacher and an educator and a master financial coach, and I want to see people take control of their money so that their money is no longer out of control. So what I want to encourage the listening audience to do is, if you have debt, now is the time to get out of debt. And you cannot borrow your way out of debt. So stop using those credit cards and start paying them down. And any debt you have right now, you need to really start hammering it and get out of debt. And it doesn't matter what your situation is. Hey, I coached a couple one time that had 86 credit cards. So if you've got 2 or 3, your situation is better than what theirs was. So it's important that you pay down the debt, get out of debt, do what you need to do to cut costs wherever you can.
Yeah, that's probably difficult because doable, but it depends on your situation. Do you have a job? Do you get a paycheck? Are you on commission? What's your life like? Are you close to retirement age? Are you in absolute total terror? So what,
right.
That's the truth of things right now and for times to come. So, and as far as the prices going up, I have noticed recently in major stores, nationwide labels, shall we say, that over the past 12 months, prices have gone up 40% total.
Yes.
So far, every time I go to the store, it's another 10%, 10%, 10%. And you don't realize it because you go, well, what's a 10%? What's 10 cents? What's 12 cents? Well, when it's combined over 2 years and you've got that 40% increase in the same product, that's wrong.
You got that right.
So that's my complaint out of the way for now.
I'm with you. Well, I've got a lot of complaints, but and I know some people are probably on here thinking, well, I already live paycheck to paycheck. Things are already tight. And I'm sorry to have to say this to you. You may have to get a second job, whether it's part-time or if you have a hobby, whatever that hobby is, that maybe you make things and you can start selling them on social media. I mean, you've got to do whatever you can right now to make the extra few bucks to hammer that debt, because it's folks, it's not going to get better right now. It really isn't. Things are going to get worse until we start opening up our own oil and our gas oil lines back up and that kind of thing. It's just going to get worse for right now. So wherever you can cut costs, whether it's at the grocery store, listen, it's summer months right now. If you don't have a garden and maybe you don't have land or even a yard to plant a garden, you can plant things in pots,
containers. Yes,
containers. You can grow tomato plants. You can grow green bean plant. There's lots of things that you can do, even if you don't have a very large yard or a yard at all. If you have a patio that you can put potted plants on, do it. Do what you can to grow some food. It's very easy. And if you haven't canned in years, or maybe you've never learned how to can, learn to can. It's actually not that difficult to can some foods and stockpile that away. Buy extra things at the grocery store when you go. You don't have to spend an extra $500 at the grocery store. It's little by little that will add up. If you go to the grocery store, pick up an extra $10 or $5 of canned goods to stock away in a room, in a closet, wherever you can, so that when it starts getting a little bit worse in the fall and in the winter, you've got some extra things that you can utilize. Sometimes I suggest dry canning, and they say, well, what's that? Well, it's very simple. You take those same mason jars, those same canning jars, and you take flour or sugar or dried cereals, whatever it is. It's a dry product. You fill those jars up. You don't put the lids or the seals on them yet, but you fill those jars up with your dry product, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Take them out, and as soon as you take them out, you put the seals and the lids on and tighten them up, and within an hour, you're going to hear them pop, pop, pop. They're sealing. They're good for 30 years. You can do that with pasta. You can do that with white rice. You can't do it with brown rice because it's too oily, but you can do that with various dried products, and once those dried products are canned and sealed, they're good for 30 years.
Take us to the next pandemic. I think
you're well prepared.
I think we're going to clear up things in the 2 to 3 years. Something big will change again, and yes, we'll have a better hold on it. And if, as Karen said, put a one stream of beans, runner beans, doesn't take up that much space.
That's right.
And when you do things, as I say, one can at a time, depending upon where you go, you're paying anywhere from 90 cents to $4 for a can of soup.
Right.
Maybe $5. Obviously, you can make your own, but if you don't want to, pick up an extra can or two. Don't hoard. Don't go back out like you did a few years ago and buy 3 cases of toilet paper, because, that will not only bust the bank, it'll bust your space.
That's exactly right.
How can people, I would gather that list making is involved when you're talking about people taking hold of their debt so that they don't go bankrupt.
Absolutely. What I suggest people to do is, if they're wanting to get out of debt, make a list of your debts from smallest to largest. So I like using the debt snowball approach, where you make a list of your debts, smallest to largest. And let's say the smallest debt that you have is a credit card of $100 balance, and your payment is $50 a month. Okay, in 2 months, that's going to be paid off. Once that's paid off, put that credit card away, don't use it, cut it up, whatever it is you got to do with it. But instead of pocketing that $50 payment that you no longer have or spending that $50, now you're going to take that $50 and put it to the next debt along with its minimum payment. So let's say the next debt is another credit card, and that credit card payment is $100 a month. Now you're going to add the 50 to it. Now you're going to pay $150 a month on that credit card until it's paid off. And then you're going to take that $150 and you're going to put it on the next debt along with its minimum payment. Hence, debt snowball. As the snowball goes down the hill, it gets bigger. It goes faster because it picks up momentum. And let's face it, Joanne, we live in a culture today where people are fast-paced and they want things now. We've got drive-through fast food. We've got drive-through banking. We've got drive-through coffee. We've got, you can click on Amazon app on your phone, and, if you do Amazon Prime, it's in your place, within a day. If you have Amazon Now, it's on your doorstep within an hour. We're not a patient people now. We get things quickly. So the reason that we use the debt snowball approach with the smallest debt first, no matter what the interest rate is because we want to see people get a quick win under their belt, because we want things fast. If you don't see a quick win, you're not going to want to stick with the plan. But if you see within a month or two, hey, this is really working, now you're more apt to stick to that plan. And
absolutely. They need to see results quicker because they have no patience, because society, again, has trained them to expect things immediately. And you forgot about getting a drive-through wedding in Las Vegas.
Right.
Don't ask me how or why that came into my head.
Okay, I won't.
Please, that's not happening in my life. Anyway, but that's another drive-through. I'm sure there are other obscure drive-throughs that we haven't even thought of yet. So what about, we spoke briefly about people with their jobs, and we're looking to spend more because they want to get out of that debt. So they're still going to have the debt. Maybe it'll be taken care of in a year. It depends on how much debt they have. Could be 6 months. Where are they going to get that extra money?
You're going to have to, literally, to get extra money, you're going to either have to take a second job, or if you enjoy, I spoke with a young lady, of course, we're in the heat of the summer right now, but this particular lady knitted. It was a passion of hers. She enjoyed it. She loved it. And she would knit hats and scarves and gloves and just knit. And so I suggested to her to start posting pictures and selling them on social media. And it actually put an extra $300 to $350 a month in her pocket during those winter months because people really enjoyed and liked what she made. Now, maybe you don't knit, and right now we're in summer months. However, look and see, what hobbies do you have where maybe you could make some extra money? Maybe you play the piano and you could give piano lessons. And, there's lots of different ways where you can make an extra buck here and there. Honestly, you can make money doing things that you enjoy. It's just a matter of putting it out there. Maybe you have a teaching gift. Maybe you enjoy math. Maybe you can begin tutoring high school students or children that need tutored in a particular area. There's lots of ways that you can make extra money and maybe not have to take a part-time job in a place where they depict your hours. You can set up your own hours. So I'm not saying that you have to go become a barista an extra 30 hours a week as your second job, but there are ways that you can make money. If you enjoy mowing grass, doing yard work, you can put that out there. There's lots of ways you can make extra money.
And check out your Facebook groups floating around, especially in your hometown. Every city in the country, at least, and that's what we're talking about now is the U.S., has a city Facebook group. and you go there and they're always asking for somebody to clean the gutters, to take away crap in front of the house, to paint the house. They need cash quickly, and you have somebody there and you don't have to deal with anything else. The other thing I like to tell people to do, it's because this is one of the things that I started doing years ago, was called shop your closet. You can clean your closet out because you're going to have so much stuff in there that you don't need. I mean, how many black pair of pants do you need? And, I mean, stop at 6, sell the rest on eBay.
Right.
Don't give it to, you find today that if you take your stuff to Goodwill, they're going to sell it for more than you would gain on it. They've raised their prices tremendously. And I know this sounds like, oh, these two people are poor and they're doing, no, we're practical.
Right.
And we're not 12.
That's right. Hey, and you brought up a good point about your closet. I want to say something here that I'm probably going to step on some toes, but hey, if you went out of debt, you're going to have to forgive me for stepping on your toes. Look in your closets, look in your attic, look in your garage, look in your basement. And I have a rule of thumb. If you have not used something in at least a year, sell it, get rid of it. I've talked to so many people and they have their basement or their attic or their garage just packed full of stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got hundreds of dollars here that you could sell. And in some cases, a couple of $1,000s. And I might need it someday. No, you haven't used it in a year.
Some days now.
You need the money now. Sell it, get rid of it. Absolutely.
They make TV shows, people, about what we're talking about. They have stuff on Discovery and whatever channel, HGTV or the Food Network, on looking for your money in your own home. Because you save things from your parents, your grandparents. And I mean, who cares? It's stuff. You can't, and stuff costs to move. If you're going to downsize and go to a smaller location, you can't take it all with you.
That's right.
And rather than giving it away, as I say, I shouldn't say Goodwill again, they're going to sell it and make a fortune. You sell it and make your fortune.
There you go. There you go. That's it. Yes.
Because one way or another, no matter what your economic scale is, you need money.
That's
you need resources for funds. And we're not just talking to people who, I don't know, whoever's listening, you're listening through your own biases. We're talking about how to protect yourself over the next few years, how to reframe your thinking about money and what money represents to you. If you want to have the big suck, pay the interest rates on your credit cards. They don't care.
That's exactly right.
They don't care. That's how they make their money. So protect yourself. And if you want to save your money for something else, be it retirement, being it a new car. And a couple of months ago, I was talking to my mechanic. He fixed something on my car, and he told me that cars that don't run are selling for a fortune now. Because every third person knows how to fix a car.
Right.
They can rebuild the engine. They can rebuild several things on a car. They don't have to buy a new or even a 10-year-old car. They can go to a classic car and buy that and update it and resell it and make their own funds. But he says everybody's looking for a dead car.
Right.
So they could fix it and resell it.
There you go. And that's how they're going to make their money.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
I mean, if you sit in a room with us, well, Linda first, me second as backup, we'd have so much money in the room, you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Right.
So you want to get out of debt first, last, and always. It sucks to be in debt.
It is.
There are so many of you listening who still have college debt, student loans. That is probably the biggest curse of our country. Student loans, because if you can't afford to go to school, don't go to school. Get a job. Get mentored.
That's right.
Take
a part-time job while you're going to college.
Yes, you can pay your own way, or most of it.
Statistics out there that show that college students who work while they're going to college have a higher GPA average than those who don't work while they're in college. Why? Because they're learning how to manage their time, for work, for study, etc. So they're actually much more organized than the students who are just there to party and go to class and that kind of thing, and are not working.
Yeah. By and large, college is extended high school. If you don't know that by now, what can I tell you?
Right.
But if those who work as well as educate themselves are also on higher on the list for companies looking to employ them when they graduate.
Right.
Because they just don't look at your, they went to school for, well, I was going to say philosophy because it's part of the book that I'm reading, one of the books I'm reading recently. You don't get anything with a philosophy degree either. If you are, in the arena of wanting to be philosophic, write a book.
Right.
Go be mentored by somebody who you admire. Don't waste 4 years of your life in college. Right. It is a waste. Most people that are up there, intelligent, rich, fully rounded, never went to college. Right. It was all learn on the job. OJT, OTJ. On the job.
There you go. Well, and now it's actually, it's more beneficial depending on what your likes are. Go to a trade school, become an electrician, do plumbing. I mean, plumbers are making hand over fist money because we've talked up for the last 20 years how important colleges, and trade schools. I mean, you've got plumbers and electricians and roofers and all of these people that are making tons of money because not everybody can do it. So, plumbers can make $50, $60, $70, $80 an hour depending on what your situation is.
Oh, they don't walk in a house here in the Seattle area, and I live in the suburbs, for under $150. They won't even talk to you.
Right. I mean, trade school is a marvelous thing, and you get in and you get out sooner. I mean, you're not spending 4 years in trade school, so you're going to make your money back even quicker.
And if you can't go to trade school, get into a commission job.
Yes.
Sell real estate.
Right.
Because you can always sell at least one house. Because you'll find that family member that will buy from you. But if you're really good, you can sell more than one house.
There you go.
But if you look at your family as your core, you at least one, if not two, in the next year, easily. That's just the way it goes. But right. If you want more, sell on commission.
Right.
And you'll be hungry and you'll do it.
That's it.
There's many ways to get you out of debt. So let's give our audience 3 things that they can do today, Karen.
Well, first of all, you need to budget. I know that sounds like a 4-letter word, but it really is not, because if you don't budget, your money is out of control. A budget, simply put, means you are taking control of your money rather than wondering where it went. A person who budgets knows exactly where their money is going. When you get your W-2 for tax time, if you look at it and think to yourself, oh my goodness, I made all that money. What happened to all that money I made? Chances are you don't budget. So first and foremost, take control of your money by budgeting. Secondly, use the debt snowball approach and get out of debt. No matter how much debt you have and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to get out of debt in a month, start working on it now anyway. Don't look at it as a hopeless situation, because your situation is not hopeless. If you got into debt, you can get out of debt. And thirdly, this is very important, you cannot borrow your way out of debt. Don't think or say, like a friend of mine who said, I'm going to go take a loan out to pay off my debt.
I'm sorry.
And I looked at her and I said, you're going to take a loan out to pay off your debts. And then she had an aha moment. Oh, that doesn't make sense. No, it does not make sense. You cannot borrow your way out of debt. So stop borrowing money, stop using those credit cards, and get out of debt.
And I would also say, put the emotional side of the money to the side. Put it in a drawer. Whatever you have, money can be a real emotional thing for people. Put the emotions to the side, and then you will function a lot easier. I suggest that listeners go to KarenFord.org, and you could see several postings and podcasts and 2-minute videos, all sorts of ways that can help you be the out-of-debt, prosperous person that you want to be. I want to thank Karen Ford for being here today. Go to her website and you could check out her books. You could check out everything and stay in touch with Karen because she knows what she's doing. Have a great day, everybody, and talk soon. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sanity Project podcast. Please go to AskJoanneVictoria.com to listen to more podcasts. Check out Joanne's coaching programs and get a free copy of her report, 5 Steps to Achieve Life-Work Harmony. That's AskJoanneVictoria.com. Take care, and thanks for being here.